Hi, I'm Brian Crombie, and we're going to be talking on the Brian Crombie Show. We're going to be talking about politics, arts, business, and social issues on the Brian Crombie Show on Canada One TV. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Brian Crombie Show on Canada One TV. Real pleasure of mine tonight to introduce you to two young ladies that I think are going to be interesting because it's a mother-daughter act, and we're going to be talking about women's empowerment, about female empowerment, about finding yourself and proving yourself over 40 as a mom, and also about finding yourself and having an influence in social media as a teenager. And so I think it's going to be kind of interesting. So I'd like to introduce you to, if I could, Katia Stern, who is an author, a speaker, and a consultant, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about her in a minute, and Sasha Maslova, her daughter, who is known to 500,000 TikTok followers as YYZ Sasha. YYZ. She says YYZ, but we say that's the American version. YYZ Sasha. She's an influencer and a dancer, and she wants to become a vocal singer-performer. And so it's a pleasure to have the two of you here. And let me tell you a little bit about Katia, if I could, because Katia, you've got a fascinating story. So Katia is from Russia, from Moscow. She graduated from university in Moscow, and then had a failed marriage, which we'll come back to probably, decided that she wanted her own career, went on to get a law degree, and then she decided that she wanted to have greater influence on females over the age of 40, wanted to prove that she was still visible. And number one, what she did is she wrote a book called You Were Born Wow. You Were Born Wow. And then she ended up going into a bunch of beauty competitions. So getting into fitness and fashion and beauty contests. And in the last one, which we'll talk about, she was the second runner-up. So Katia and Sasha, welcome to our show.
Brian, thank you so much for inviting us. We're very excited to do this interview with my daughter, especially. That's something I could never even think about.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank
so
you.
Katia, why write the book about You Were Wow, You Are Wow? You were born wow.
I always had a book on me, or I had a library in me, as I say. And one day, I meet Bob Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
And we had dinner, and he said, well, we were having dinner. I said, Bob, I want to be like you. What do I do? And he said, Katia, write a book. So I wrote a book, and
Bob Proctor is a inspirational.
The Bob Proctor from the movie Secret,
right?
One of the he's genius.
Yep.
He's influential.
Positive thinking,
yes,
The Secret, inspirational speaker,
yes,
etc.
Exactly.
And so you wrote the book, and You Were Born Wow is about what?
His book's called You Were Born Rich.
No, I know, but your book,
My
You Were
book
Born
is
Wow.
wow, because I think everybody was born wow. We kind of were born. Not the same, but without all those complexes, without all the negative beliefs, thoughts, and then we create them based on our experiences, based on our parents, of whatever is happening in life, and we come up with something that's not really true.
Right.
And I'm a true believer that we all are wow. You're wow, Brian. I'm wow. My daughter is wow. And I'm serving as a reminder in my book, like you were born wow. Yes. Get back to it. Get your power back. That's your wowness back.
And you got your wowness back by, even though you were a lawyer, you said there's nothing wrong with being beautiful and competing in a beauty contest, even if you're a lawyer. And so you went into something called Miss Globe or Mrs. Globe, and you competed and you became Mrs. Canada, I understand.
Yes, but first I competed in a fitness bikini. And
what?
That was for me at 42 years old. I'm all this educated, smart woman, and I thought I could never do this, or because I'm just not in that position to do anything fun or basically to go show my body, because that wasn't me. But I did that, and from that time, I just completely, became visible.
Right.
I allowed myself to become visible. So Mrs. Globe, where I got my, first of all, Mrs. What was it? Toronto, Canada? No,
Ontario?
Ontario, yes, and then Mrs. Canada. And I mean, I allowed myself, I was thinking, who am I not to become Mrs. Canada? And before my mindset, when I wasn't into personal development, I was always thinking, who am I to do this or that? Who am I? But now, who am I not to? Why not? Why not me?
And so you're all about, you were born WOW, empowerment, you've got the right to do that, you've got the right to be educated, you've got the right to be a lawyer, and the right to be beautiful and fit all at the same time.
Oh, right, we have all equal rights. It's just the permission. Women are struggling with giving ourselves permission from ourselves. It's not even, once we allow that, once we make a decision to become this or that, or to feel this or that,
right?
We can do anything.
So Sasha, tell me, what was it like, number one, growing up with this influence, and is that what influenced you to launch your TikTok account, which has 500,000 followers, and on Instagram something like 25,000?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like growing up with this type of mother is really, really cool, because I feel like my mindset now, even it's so different from like the rest of my friends or like people that I know. And it's just like crazy to see, like, I don't know, I really want to grow up and be like my mom, and just like when I have my kids, I want to be like her to them, and hopefully that's gonna come true one day. And
so how did you come to have 500,000 followers on TikTok?
well, TikTok started trending, and then everyone kept telling me to download it, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I just started posting, and at first I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I was just posting random stuff and it wasn't going anywhere, and then I just kind of followed my intuition. I really asked myself, what is it that I really like that other people enjoy as well? So I started posting like dancing videos, makeup videos, like makeup tutorials, and like transitional videos, which is basically like a before and after makeup transitional video. So yeah, I post stuff like that, and I saw that it started getting a lot of views, and I just kept going with it. And then I started adding like different type of content like on top of that, like cooking videos and just like videos about like sports and like.
Do you have a
mindset.
message? Do you have an objective? Why are you doing this? Just for attention, or do you have something
Definitely
to say?
not for attention.
Yeah?
Definitely
I
not.
think in the beginning
feel like
maybe it was like that. In
Yeah?
the beginning,
Yeah.
obviously she wanted to fit in, she wanted to be just, and then we kind of, that's where I came in. I'm like, now that they follow you, now that they
Yeah.
listen to you, why don't you influence?
Yeah, so like I kind of had to grow my platform and get my followers, and then
Right.
after that I really like thought like, okay, now what do I do with them now?
And so what are you doing
what's
with
the
them now?
message, right? So basically, I just want to show people that social media, like what people see on social media, is not real. Like, I want people my age to be confident with themselves, because recently I've noticed that every single person that I know, like girls my age and just people like at my school, they're not confident with themselves.
Right.
Like they have such a
So
low
you're the wow
self-esteem.
factor for teenagers.
I mean, hopefully, like,
Because it's about confidence, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would say I'm pretty confident, and a lot of the times I would go live on TikTok or Instagram, and the question that I get asked the most would be, how do I stop caring about what people think? How do I overcome my fears? How do I become confident like you? And it's crazy because I wasn't always confident. Sometimes, I mean, when I was younger, I was actually really shy and
Yep.
self-conscious, and I was scared to go on stage when like I had to perform with my
That
dancing.
she was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, and I was scared to compete and do all of that.
But
We're
every-
going to take a break. We're going to come back in just a minute with more with Katia and Sasha and hear more about why the book, why the TikTok, and what they're trying to accomplish. Stay with us. Hi, I'm Brian Crombie, and we're going to be talking on the Brian Crombie Show. We're going to be talking about politics, arts, business, and social issues on the Brian Crombie Show on Canada One TV. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Show on Canada One TV. A real pleasure of mine tonight to have Katia Stern and Sasha. Is it Moldova?
Maslova.
Maslova, I apologize, Maslova, mother and daughter, who have really tried to have an influence on people, the mother on females and particularly people over, I guess, the age of 40, and Sasha on teenagers and mainly females. I've been watching your TikTok, and actually I'm watching your Instagram more than your TikTok, I have to admit. But you've really been, I think, as I said, trying to show confidence and empowerment, the wow factor for young people as well, which is wonderful. Katia, a lawyer, a business person, an entrepreneur, taking off her clothes, putting on a bikini, going into a fitness competition and then competing to become Mrs. Canada? Why?
Why?
You said you wanted to make
Why?
yourself visible.
Yes.
But what are you trying to prove?
In the beginning, of course, it was all for me because I was definitely not confident when I was her age, and at 12, 13, 14, I was struggling. I was so insecure. I had a severe eating disorder. I was trying to fit in. I was just being not happy,
Right.
to say. And even when I achieved all the external success, I was still not happy. So when I almost died in a fire, I was around 40 at that time. I realized, it's almost over. I mean, it could just end right there, but I haven't lived yet.
You almost died in a fire.
I almost died in a fire.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
okay.
I was one breath away from death. So at that moment, it's like,
You wanted to live your life to its fullest.
exactly, I haven't
Okay.
lived.
And
well.
after that was when you met the
After
author
that,
and
yes,
wrote the book.
Once you make a decision to change something, all the resources come to you.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate to meet first
So
book.
my interpretation of just watching you for a little while is that you're really trying to tell people, just step out there, give it a shot, don't
Exactly.
worry, don't be
Exactly.
don't let society tell you can't do it. Is that
Become unapologetically yourself.
unapologetically yourself?
Yes, because we are, as good women, and that's who I work with, very educated, successful, we were taught to be good, basically people pleasing. We would have to be perfect. We're all perfectionists, and that stops us from living fully, and it stops us from being visible. Because, like, I work with women who can't even do live video, and that was me. They can't go on camera, and they love to go on camera. They're dreaming about fitness bikini competition or becoming Mrs. whoever, whatever, but they can't, and they feel that time is running out.
Yeah.
And
what you wanted to say is that even for
wanted to say
females that
that-
are a mom after the age of 40, have a law degree, they can still do it.
everybody can do it. It's first you make a decision, firm decision, and based on not what you need to do, because that's where what we did before 40. Like, we needed to go to school, we needed to get education, we needed to have a family. Now it's time to start doing what we want.
So Sasha, you've got 500,000 followers on TikTok. Like, that's incredible that, what are you, 15, 16?
17.
17, okay, I
Yeah.
apologize. 17 years old and you've got 500,000 followers on TikTok. So you've got this huge platform. You hear your mom talk about this. You've said that you want to do confidence. How are you getting that message across to teenagers,
Well,
to teenage girls?
I mean, well, right now I'm just doing it through like the videos that I post. Recently I kind of created this little trend of like a before and after what I look like with and like without makeup. And I just got so many like comments of girls just thanking me for even just like me posting that video and being so, just doing them almost a favor, because now they understand that they're not the only ones who kind of just,
I think my advice on this was just don't afraid to be showing your that you're vulnerable and
Yeah.
Want to
showing
rebel.
that vulnerable, like
Vulnerable.
vulnerable,
Oh, vulnerable, I apologize,
showing
vulnerable.
your
Authenticity.
Authenticity, yeah. That you're not perfect.
nobody's
You were
perfect.
here,
right?
and now you're there. And
So Sasha, lots of teenage girls I've talked to have had a tough year with COVID-19.
Yeah.
And I understand you guys went to Mexico for a while, so you guys lucked out, you escaped. But they were on virtual Zoom classes all the time. They didn't see their friends. They had mental health
Yeah.
issues. You've excelled and you've created this platform. What would you say to people if you had an opportunity, if you were the valedictorian of your high school, and you had a chance to speak to them all? What would you say to them?
Well, TikTok is what helped me, but I think that every single person should really think about it and decide for themselves what would make them happy. So like, for example, with all that COVID stuff happening, like there should be something that you're really passionate about that you could always rely on, whether it's like dance or like singing or whatever it is, right? So that like something that you're so passionate about to do, like you wake up and you want to do it, and like none of that stuff that's happening on the outside with COVID and everything in the online school, it shouldn't even affect you because you're so happy with
So what are you
you
passionate
really
about?
do. Singing, dancing, makeup. Yes, that's really
Talking.
what I'm
She
passionate
does
about. I love
one of
talking.
the
yeah.
How do you find what you're passionate about? How do you find your passion?
Well, you definitely have to try a lot of things because we're not just, it would be weird if we were just born and we just like knew every single thing, like, if you have to try
That's me talking.
everything, have to try something here. If you don't like it, it's fine, just move on. Maybe if you like it, okay, stick to that, try something else after.
Katia, what's your passion?
I'm passionate about helping others to overcome what I overcame, because when I see the results of my women that I help, like I cry, and I wake up every morning and looking at the DMs and.
So you've got
thinking,
thousands of people, maybe 1,000 females in the 40s tonight listening to you. What do you want to say to them?
Make a decision. Make a decision of who you want to be in the next.
Make a decision of who you want to
whatever.
be.
Yeah. Create that image in your head, that vision, who you really want to be, not who you need to be. Really, if there were no obstacles, if you had all the resources, all the money in the world, all the time in the world, all the energy in the world, what would you be doing? What would, just imagine, create that vision, and then come to me, I'll get you there. Because all the steps are easy.
Did you ever read, I love when you said no obstacles, did you ever read Jonathan Livingston Seagull?
Seagull, of course. That was one of my first books.
The very last page of that is No Limits, Jonathan, No Limits, which is sort of like your no obstacles.
First personal development training, I was playing the role of Seagull, and that's my trainer said, you were Seagull, you're supposed to be doing this for the rest of your life. That's you.
But he wanted to be an eagle. He wanted to fly high. And he did.
And he did.
No limits.
And she did. And you can do it, and everybody just should do it, because that's where the happiness is, like where you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to be who you want to be.
Sasha, is social media a power for good or a power for bad for teenagers?
I honestly think that it depends on the influencer that's like running the account, I guess, because there's a lot of influencers right now that don't really use their platforms for like good reasons. So I really just think it depends on like the people that you follow. Like, are they helping you? Like, are they motivating you? Are they doing any good, for you?
Right.
So yeah, because like every single person that I follow, I really love their content because it's either inspiring, motivational, or inspirational, or whatever it is, or just like fun. But if it's something so negative and something just I don't want to see it, then I don't
a
really
lot
need
of people
it.
just follow everybody
For no reason.
And their mind is focusing, whether they want it or not, on the negativity, and that's like we create what we see, what we hear, what's in our heads. So I don't follow a lot of people just because I don't want that. I don't watch TV most of the time, and I do watch Netflix. But it's just you are to choose your thoughts and emotions and the feelings.
Katia, if people want to follow you and or buy your book, how do they do that?
Katia Stern, just Google.
Katia Stern.
KatiaStern.com, Katia _Stern _ Instagram. So I'm mostly on Instagram, even though I have this period in my life now that I'm not posting that much because I'm kind of.
And you're also launching a mastermind program?
Yes, that's my next big step, because I try different concepts, different types of influencing people, and one of them through media, speaking, my book, obviously. But another one is I run this mastermind, and I think it's the best way, especially now after this whole
And if they want to sign up for this
situation,
mastermind, how do they do that?
contact me.
KatiaStern.com.
You can find me. You know what? Whoever wants to have the resource,
They'll find
whoever
you.
wants to feels that we match our energy, our you know.
And
sense of
Sasha, if
humor,
people want to
then
follow you on
find me.
Instagram and or TikTok, what do they do?
Search up YYZ Sasha.
YYZ Sasha. YYZ Sasha. Katia Stern and daughter Sasha, thank you so much for joining me. A real pleasure. And I wanted you to come here because I think a lot of people need to hear this message from a mom over 40 and a daughter in her teens that you can be whatever you want to be. There's no obstacles, there's no limits, and
No
you need
limits.
confidence.
Remember,
so ladies, thank you so much.
You were born wow.
You were
All
born
of
well. Thanks for joining us tonight. That's our show. Good evening, everyone.